Coach Day earlier, we talked to him about you a little bit. He had mentioned that you had a mindset change at the key of your recent surgery. How did you shift your mindset to achieve what you achieved?
Pretty much just understanding the game better, watching everybody before me play and seeing what they did, how they prepare for games, and just knowing that I got to do what I got to do to help my teammates win, you know what I'm saying? Especially at the 3-tech position with me, Edric, and Jason and all. We all rotating in, we all building confidence off each other, and it doesn't matter who goes out there first, we all going to have the same standards and ball out.
You said you graded out best in this last game than you had in any game previously. How have you felt your confidence grow since you've been, getting a bigger role, getting more snaps in the 3-tech?
Like I said, it goes back to my preparation. Before the fall camp, me and Coach Jay was talking about what do I need to improve on to help the team out in a better way. And that most important thing was film study, understanding what the opponents like to do, what they like to run, if they in certain formations, what they like to do at those formations, just get a better feel of the game for myself.
Tywone, did you have at any moment in preseason or whatever, have a talk with yourself that, now's my time, this is the year I got to step up, et cetera, because everybody was talking about the lack of depth in the defensive tackle room, et cetera, but you're a guy who has delivered some. I mean, what was just those self-conversations like, I guess, going into this year?
So pretty much it was just because we talked about a lot in the D-line room. Everybody didn't really have high hopes for us coming out in the season. And, the biggest thing was we all came together and just realizing like we got a standard for the D-line and we got to uphold that. We had a great front four. My apologies. Front four leaving last year, and they left off great with the Nationals. And we knew as young guys that we had to come and do the same thing. So just pretty much all of us coming together, understanding the one goal, one mission.
And with you, is it more of a consistency now? I mean, how would you describe why you're, getting to play and delivering?
Not just letting one bad play take over, just live on for the next one and just keep going hard and keep focusing, just keep getting off the ball and great things will happen.
Aaron Scott was talking about Matt Patricia being a player's coach, the way that he's gotten to know some of the guys. But what have you enjoyed about playing for him, and what's it been like getting to know him off the field?
Coach P, he a great dude, man. He really cares about his players. He's always asking us how we feeling, how we doing, if we have any questions on certain defenses that he want to do for that particular game and stuff like that, and just pretty much just being consistent with us. If we not having the best days, he's always there checking up on us, making sure we all good. And his coaching techniques, coming from the league, coming here, giving us real good tips about what they would like to see in the next level and how we could bring that in over here.
Tywone, you came here because you wanted to focus on football. What was that development process like with you and Coach Johnson as you try to get to where you are right now?
Yeah, man, it was a long one, sitting every time with Coach Jay just talking about what can I do to improve on my game, watching films on other guys like I mentioned before and seeing how they handle themselves in situations, how they handle themselves on the field, how they handle themselves in the film studies, practice, stuff like that, and just basically like going over what they were doing and putting it into my day game.
When the process is long like it is like that, how much does it help having a guy like Coach Jay who's been around, has done it, just knows the ins and outs of it?
Coach Jay, he was real patient, man. This game's not easy. A lot of times it takes a lot of patience, especially coming from two sports and to just focusing on one. It's not as time consuming, so you can focus more on one thing rather than two things. And just getting with him every day and just figuring out what we got to do to improve and help me be the best player I could be.
You played a career high in snaps last weekend. How did you feel you adjusted to a larger workload?
I felt like the same. We've been going hard since fall camp. We've been rotating guys and just like I said in my last interview, like next man up. So whoever's out there just gotta play as hard as you can, as long as you can, until the next man steps in to take over for you.
I'm sure you didn't expect it to take this long for you to get into a starting role, but how do you feel like the journey that's taken you to this point has helped you get to where you are now?
I feel like I'm here for a reason. I feel like my journey, it was my journey for a reason, and I'm right where God believes I should be.
Tywone, what is the mindset of a defensive tackle in the midst of all that? Basically a real man's world down in the gut there. What is the mindset you have to have in that situation?
You got to play aggressive. You got to play physical. You know what I'm saying? You just got to know your job, know your assignment, and just execute it at a high level.
But do you feel like you're in a constant boxing match? How would you describe it, going against the offensive line?
Can you repeat that one time?
Do you feel like you're almost in a constant boxing match? I mean, a fight. I mean, what does it feel like in the midst of all that?
Oh, it's a fight every day up front. It's the trenches. You're going to have to fight every time or you're going to get defeated. So it's just a constant battle between you and the other guy. Just got to keep attacking with him.
All right.
Tywone, thank you very much.
Appreciate
Thank you,
y'all.
man.
Thank you.